All right, this shall be what the title says it will be. This is cleaning up from the last mess and setting up for the next mess. Should prove overly stimulating for viewer and host alike. All right, so the next one, what am I thinking here? I'm thinking very dangerous thinking. Let's see. I'm thinking Victoria, 21st of June, 1813. Kind of a weird setup here. We've got, I don't see a single tree on there, so that's interesting. Tons of hills, a fairly prominent stream. I guess river would be the better name for it. Well, that's what I'm leaning towards, and we'll have Spanish, British, and Portuguese, the trifecta against the usual, the French there. So let's just start cleaning up. Any topics, anything on you guys' minds? Doesn't have to be game related. Feel free to let her rip. Got Waterloo on the background. This movie's been on YouTube off and on for I don't know how long. So I'm not too concerned about copyright issues. But we'll find out. We'll see. Maybe I am ill-informed about this stuff. It's a distinct possibility. This guy here should have more commanders with this scenario. Looks like I decided on Victoria. Yeah, let's do that. Nope, still 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 4 for the Allies, 4 commanders plus a commander in chief, because we do the shake and break, and then 3 commanders for the French. I don't know who's out cutting the grass, but I thank them for that. You can cut my grass all you want. This guy here, commander in chief. We do have. Lost. Oh, here we go. Also got some new dice in, so I don't have to use cumbersome, weird-sized kit bashed markers from other things. So there we go for step losses, shaken, and broken status. That's what we got there. 30 of each color from Warlord Games. So things a little more unified and conform better to regarding informational purposes. Such a great thing. Him freaking out. These guys. Probably gonna have to relocate the city here, so this is gonna take a minute. Damn it. And now we gotta glue somebody again. There. Hope everybody had a good Easter. I had way more than I could ever eat. here. Get all the eyes off, and get all the French off, and then we'll worry about where the city goes. The city doesn't really serve much of a function, other than it's pretty to look at. It's a lot of stuff when you get it all bunched up together. So dice are good. That'll work better than these little cardboard shits. Because for some reason I get confused on which number it is. When you've got numbers on each side of the shit. Alright, all eyes removed. Try not to run into the table. And then the French. This will be, this Victoria scenario will be your standard size scenario. It will not be epic. But I'm starting to pine for something epic here, so before too long we may see something along those lines. Just kidding. No trees, huh? Okay. Put the trees back. Had a little flea scare recently. No outdoor cat, but you could still get fleas. Like tracking things in and being around other animals, etc. So that's happened before. And it started to happen again, but I think I nipped it in the bud before I had to go nuts and rip the house apart and like straight up fumigate. Got the cat her flea medicine from the vet. But man, my ankles got lit up pretty good due to the old buggers. Plus, this house is so old and drafty. It is not airtight by any means as far as sealed up. So there's all kinds of areas they can get in. Need to spray outside too. That always helps. That's funny. Napoleon says he loves his troops, but he abandoned them in Egypt. He abandoned them in Russia. It's got a weird way of showing it. That would tend to make you feel expendable. The stream's going to prove a little more cumbersome than usual because I like it recessed within the table. So that's how we're going to work that. Stream. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You see right away we got to do the weird thing. Yes. And then start with a stream here. Is that right? That's right. Stream here. Stream here. Today is my Sunday. I'm off Sundays and Mondays. I work every Saturday again now. care less. Saturday is just another day to me. It means nothing. Another one here. And then straights. One, two, three straights. I got two straights. Now I think this is going to have to lift up. Yep. Or reverse. Reverse, reverse. And then a turn and a straight. Is that what we're doing? So turn this way. Go straight. I'm not blocking the TV, sorry. I make a better door than a window. Actually, I don't make that good of a door either. I'd argue I make a better window. We won't get into that. Okay, that should be the string. Let me verify from this angle. One, two, three straights, which is what I did. Yep, it's happy. So I can fill in the gaps. Then we'll do the hill. Sound good? The hills have eyes. So work's been a bit of a drag lately. Had an incident I was dealing with that I'm still dealing with in one way or another. But also, we had a shooting on the, we were closed for Good Friday. And somebody got shot in the front of the library. And the body lay there on the steps to the entrance of my branch. And I didn't ask to see a picture of that, but being as we have all kind of unhoused folk that spend the night on the porch out there every night, it was inevitable that somebody was going to get a picture of that, and that's what happened. And that picture ended up with one of the security guards that works at the library, and the security guard felt that I needed to see that. And I didn't recognize the dude. I thought maybe it was somebody a regular that would come in all the time during the day. But no, I didn't recognize him. And you would think that would create some sort of concern that would in turn create some sort of proactive measures to prevent that from happening again, or I don't know, just inside the library. I mean, had we been open, is that something we could have expected? You know, who knows? But now you'd be wrong. We did, however, receive an email stating if you have psychiatric issues, there is free online psychiatric help. And I appreciate that in so much as they're acknowledging that it happened and they're trying, albeit you can argue to what extent they're trying. But that psychiatric help isn't going to keep me from getting shot or anybody else in or around the library from getting shot. And I understand it's a citywide problem. It's not just the library. It's not just the area we're at. There's really nowhere safe in Orleans. It's all just gone to shite. But yeah, so I guess my point is online psychiatric help for that isn't going to keep you from getting shot again the next time. So you know, I mean, okay, what measures are you talking about, Jason? Is it that much of an inconvenience to have a metal detector in the library? Really? Is it? I've argued we should have had one of those long ago. And the thing is, I know how this works. The library will wait until somebody does get shot inside before they do all these changes, which is completely ridiculous because you need to make these changes. If not now, yesterday, long ago, to prevent that from happening, not waiting until it happens and then deciding, oh, maybe we should do something. So work's been a drag lately. What other fun celebratory news do I have to share? And I'll tell you what, the number of I'm going to be insensitive here. The number of nut jobs we had to come in here to the library, I fully expect something horrible to happen at some point. What else? Okay, so the river's in place. The road is a non-issue. Yeah, hey Wardrobe, what's up, man? I know St. Louis ain't much better. In fact, I think they're neck and neck as far as horribleness. The ones in St. Louis. What'd you do for Easter, Wardrobe? Where's this city gonna go? On the corner. Oh, and there's one here. I may have to switch back to the little guys. Because if the city is actually on map and in play, these buildings are just too big to fit infantry and a building in the same hex. So I'm gonna have to go back to the little ones, I think. That's fine. We can switch off and on. Although I am fond of these little buildings. So I'm on these. Oh, I think we do have a bridge that I can put in there. What else is going on? Spring is in the air. Not sure what that means. Winter's over, I guess, is all that means for me. No more cold. It does get cold here. And before you know it, be sweating my hinder off. So I guess there's that to look forward to. Blues hockey, 2 games left. We're done. We're out of the playoffs this year. We've moved major assets. We are, whether they call it this or not, we are in the midst of a rebuild. And the old adage, always next year, works just fine in this case. Playoff hockey's great though, whether your team's in it or not. It's just simply the best. So I'll be watching that. What else? Been watching a friend of mine, my bestie, has got me watching Ted Lasso. We ripped through first season and started the second season, and I have to say that show, it's the dialogue for me, specifically Ted, and you could fill notebooks, reams of notebooks with his clever aphorisms. Great show. And Miss Maisel, about the female comedian, started watching that. There's just no shortage of shows to watch. You have to filter through the good and the bad. I don't know what the annoying beep noise is outside. This whole city sounds like a video game on any given day and night. Still got the scooter, all's good with that. It would be a year ago, roughly nowish, that I put the order in for it. Didn't show up till July, so I can't do the official 1 year anniversary of having it until July. And it's still just as exciting to ride as when I first got it. Such a great little thing. Making progress, trust me. Or not. Trust no one. Suspect everyone. There we go. Now we're ready for Hillage. Hillux. I'm reading comments here. It is both a blessing and a curse. If I were homeless, houseless, however you prefer to refer to that situation, I would probably hang out at the library during the day. There's bathrooms, air conditioning. You're relatively safe. Oh, that's awesome, dude, that you did that, helped at your church. That's really cool. If you want to feel better about yourself, help others. That's the trick. What's up, Walkabout? I think you should dip your toe into the old Napoleonic waters a little bit more often there in the wardrobe. And I'm definitely a big encourager of anything Scooter. Hey, Eric, how you doing, buddy? I watched some of your stuff last night. It was either last night or this morning. I can't even keep track of what day it is. It's Monday, right? It's Monday. We're setting up for Vitoria, 21st of June, 1813. We just took down Talavera. So I'm sticking with the Spanish for now. This is an expansion that I haven't messed with hardly at all. I've done the British and the Prussians and the Russians to death, but never really messed with anything Napoleon's ulcer-wise. All right, so our hills. One, two, three, skip, hill. Hill. I'm going to have to move this. Put this here. Here. Put this back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. 1, 2 here. Here. I think if I remember correctly, part of the, at least the military's reception of his return had, again, in part to do with the way the veterans were being treated under Momo Head. And I mean, if I was a wounded veteran or had some issues, I would feel like Napoleon coming back would be in my favor, or not. But I think I read that somewhere. Eric might chime in on that with some information. Or we could call and ask the library, because that's apparently what people do. If there's something you don't know, forget about Google. Call the library, ask them, make them look it up, and then start talking about random nonsense. Okay, I'll stop. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I need a vacation, and I've got one coming in May, so problem solved there. Mother's Day, I'll be making my return to St. Louis for a short stay, but a well-needed escape from current matters. Why am I missing stuff? Right here. Right here. Right here. Right here. I ran out of hills. Can you believe that nonsense? Why is it? If I take these guys, it should be good. So we don't need those. I'm going to pull those up, all those extra that I don't use. 2, and then 2, and then 2, and then a 1. And again, you guys realize this Waterloo movie is on YouTube. You can watch it at your convenience without me cutting into the frame. If you haven't seen it, for God's sakes, I mean, there's admittedly issues with the film, but it's fantastic. I keep waiting for Ridley Scott's Napoleon to come out. That's going to be awesome. Probably end of this year, early next year, we'll see that, I hope. It'll be on, I think, Apple TV. See, that's not right. I've done something wrong here. 2, 2, 1, 2. That's it. And then, is it a hill or a city? What a hill. So, 1, 2, and then here? 1, 2 over. Yep, 1, 2 over. And another stinking hill here. Yep. I think there's more hills. I have to pull this layer up here. Actually, I should pull all this up. All it does is confuse and distract. I've extended it for the last scenario so I could put the city on there and have it look pretty and all that stuff, but it's not a functional need, so let's break it down. Again, this is a standard size commands and color scenario. Adelante. Whoop. There we go. Much better. I can see what the hell I'm doing. I can see clearly now the terrain is gone. Ah. Let's put these in here. Thank you, sir. So yeah, a ton of hills, no trees, nice little river there with, I think, a bridge. Yeah, I need 2 bridges. So, I don't know if this is typical Spanish terrain. I'm not very familiar with it. I'm going to say yes, it is. Where do these bridges go? Got one in the corner here, which will not make it. There we go. And then one here-ish-esque. Gonna go there. Where's our windmill gonna go? It's mandatory. This thing's beautiful. Happy little windmill. Don't need these anymore because we know what's what, but we do need this. Even though I don't use these in game for setup, it helps to have your section dividers so you know what's where. And then should be ready to start setting up stuffage. Check comments. It is, Eric's consistency is machine-like with his gameplay. Teaching some fencing and teaching archery? What age level is that? I would love to do fencing. Archery's cool too. All right, Eric, he's gone. He's left us. Peace be upon you, Eric. A cameo appearance, an unexpected cameo appearance by Mr. Eric. Oh yeah, we need another hill. But more importantly, we got to do our buildings. We got a hill right at the end here. That's inconvenient. So I need my city stuff. Where have I done with all that? Ah, here's some. So we'll go back to these for now since we have to use these on the actual terrain that'll be in play. So at the end of this hill is this. Where else? Two more on the corner where my windmill was gonna go. Here. I even have a city here. What is the point? And then one more. Where? There. Another weird spot for a city. Right here. Does that please everyone? I hope it does. Don't need these. I'll get rid of all those later and that later. Let's set up the French. So we have light, and again, the way I use these, light does not have a flag, so I know who's what. We'll leave them in column, which doesn't have an effect. Again, it's a visual aid to help me know who has moved and who will do moving ranged fire. I keep them in column. I know that they're light because they don't have a flag. Then I go to, I can't read this. What in God's name is that? Militia? That is a militia. Okay, thank you, camera. I'll have to mark them. Militia will not have flags either. Yeah, they should have a flag. But then now I need a militia marker. I don't know if I have those. Do I have those? And what have I done with there? Do we have a militia marker? Limbered, unlimbered. Surely that's something we have. Let's move these out. Get the hills out of my hair. And go ahead. There you go. All over. Good job. You know what you wanted to. And let's dump these. Surely we have a militia marker. I mean, the cat has stirred. It must be time to eat. 5 o'clock it is, so we'll find a militia marker, feed the cat. Killed 2 stones with 1 bird and a bush. Killed 2 bushes with 1 stone and a bird. Militia. You must give me. Oh, I found one. We do have one right there. Boom. Militia. Okay, feed the cat. Napoleon had problems, physical health issues, sores, he had stomach problems, I would argue. My theory is he tried to kill himself. I probably already talked about this. He tried to kill himself during the Russia thing. It didn't work. But I am under the theory that he had stomach problems ever since then from the stuff he took. But physically, he wasn't doing too good. You know who else said? Karl Marx had boils. He dealt with that horribly for a better part of his life. Didn't stop him from writing. That guy, Jesus. And then, I don't know why I can't read this. Line, thank you. So we'll put a line column of line here. Then what? Then light cavalry. I can do that as well. That's not light cavalry. Nor is that. That is light cavalry. Do we have a light cavalry marker? We do. I find this part of the movie odd. I'm not sure that it was needed, but I guess you could argue it. A couple of things. Maybe it shows the British calmness under the circumstances, and it introduces Wellington, maybe a couple other people. Setting the stage for the Allies, I guess. Horse artillery. Do I need to move? I will need to move horse artillery up, so we'll limber them right here. We even got the little horses. Horse. Has anybody delved into the pike and shot stuff yet? I'm not gonna make you feel bad about it. I think it's cool if you did. It's just not my bag. No pike and shot, folk. Light cavalry required. If you guys are actually interested in this movie in the background, I can turn it up and maybe you can hear it better. I don't know. Well, let me know. And then line. Here's another line. We'll put them in column. Anticipating maneuver. Line. And I can't tell, that's light. We'll put them in column. Some foot. What else? Line. So there's Wellington. Well, I think most of his dialogue consists of famous quotes. It's kind of a wooden actor with sappy dialogue, but he does just fine. Line. Do we want them in column? I think we do. Put them here. It's the famous quotes that anybody cares about anyway, as far as what he says. Another line. Give me this. On a hill. It's almost like we have two fronts here, this rear area, and then we're going to have another one up here of French, and then all the allies behind that. Another line. This one should be in column, sir. So we can do full fire. There we go, and then another light, and we've run out of stuff, so. 6. We want them, and we want them in line as well. And then more artillery, more foot here, foot here. What else? 2 more line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 more line where? Line here. We want them in. We want that line in line. And then we want the other one in column. Maybe I'll go over the rules a little bit when I'm done. Let you know where we're at on those. Line and column, we said. Right here, and then we'll place the French leaders. I've got a chap, and I'm not going to do the leader stats yet. I'll randomly place those. So we have a leader here. We have a leader here. These are both attached. Just fits on there. Leader here, and then an additional leader that I don't have ready. So this guy. That'll be leader number, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, 4 leaders for the French. Then he'll go, he's attached here. I'm going to fast forward through all this ball stuff. Okay. Commander in Chief, where do we want him? Now he has a 3x command range, so we want him. Whoa, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If we could put him here, but it's stinking light cavalry's in the way. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Let's see. Here? Yes, we could do it here, and then we can affect 3 of our 4 leaders. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So there's that. So extra strategy that I allow in the shake and break rules for you guys. I think that's it for the. No, it's not. We've got more French. We have another militia unit and another light unit on the left flank. There's a light unit here. Light unit where? Light unit here. Yeah, this is all fine and dandy, but I'm going to fast forward it. There we go. And what else? Militia. So that was light and then another militia unit. Put them right here. Actually, I'm going to switch them to line. I need a militia marker. There's Blucher with his pipe. Thought he was impregnated by an elephant. He was a little goofy. But I think they've come to determine that that was kind of a mistranslation. He was trying to speak in an analogy, and it turned into, I think was impregnated by an elephant. Not certain on that. Now we're finally ready for all the Portuguese, Spanish, British. For God's sakes. Where do we start? Let's start with Portuguese line. 1, 2 here. And I'll have to mark them so I know that they're Portuguese because they have different stats than the Spanish or the British. So that'll be, that is line, which I am aware of. Portuguese, what do I have for them? You know that they're Portuguese. I could have. There we go. Let's do blue. I use these little blue guys. Anybody in blue will be Portuguese. Another Portuguese line unit. Mark him. And we'll do the Spanish in red. So Portuguese light. Here. Portuguese foot artillery here. More Portuguese line. So he's talking about tactically advantageous terrain that he scoped out before, and he seems to remember and know that area fairly well. Going to use it to his advantage. Artillery. Is that regular or is that Portuguese? What is it? That's regular British. So that's it for the Portuguese? Good. A small 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we got another line. That's Portuguese. That's it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Portuguese units. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 Spanish units. Spanish line here. Let's move this for now. And Spanish line here. Come on now. There's one of your stupid quotes. Spanish line again. Nope, we want these in line, not column. So Spanish. What else? Spanish foot artillery. Why not? There. Mark it, and that should be into the Spanish, yes. The rest is all British. We'll start with the British line unit next to the Spanish foot, and we'll put him in column. Another British line unit in column next to him. And then 3 more. Jesus. 3 more. Let's do, actually, I'm going to switch him back to line. And this guy will be in line. Right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need one more. Right here. This. So okay, now we're good that side of the river, and then we go light cavalry, heavy cavalry, in the said city, light. Heavy cavalry where? Next to them. Then more light cavalry over here. And then we'll see 1, 2. Oh, we get some rifles. Cool. 1, 2 more line and a light. right. Line on the rifles. Rifles. We actually have rifles. Right there. We good? We happy? One of these is heavy. We need to mark that. The rest of them light. Heavy cavalry. There it is. Would be this one. The rest are light. Okay, so I think that's it. Put our windmill back for show. And start verifying things here. Verifying. We need to place our leaders. Allied leaders have not been placed. We have a leader here. We have leader right here. Leader here. And the leader here. And then we'll place our commander-in-chief. Commander-in-chief here. So if we put him, there's 3 here we could affect. This guy's kind of off. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'll put him here. It's a gamble, but I'm going to do it. That's going to beef up our right flank. Because we can siphon off command points from that commander-in-chief. We can siphon off 5 from the British, and the French gets 4. So I'll set that to 5. British get 4. I'll set that. It was already set to 4. Okay, yeah, that's it. Anything else is just in the way. These back. These up. We'll go over the actual scenario, and then, like I said, I'm going to share some more rule stuff with you. I can't help it. I'm fairly happy and proud and satisfied with how these rules have come out. I've really given them a lot of love and attention, and it's like I have a conglomeration of everything I like. These can go back. Don't need you. Don't want you. Don't need these anymore. We've got our new fancy dice that I talked about at the beginning of the video. We have yellow-red dice for our shaken and breaking units. We'll still need ASL leader chits for stats on leaders, and ASL solitaire chits for in command, out of command. And I'm using ASL low ammo counters for the artillery when you roll a 12. So there's that. So now I'm cleaning up the white counters here that are in the dice tray, and then we'll talk. These guys here. And that's it. Wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. This guy. All right, done with that. I don't have our road. I don't know that I need one. Maybe I'll add road stuff later. The dice I was talking about, we now have the dice act as the markers now. So instead of dice and markers, we've got our step loss marker. Shaken. If unit shaken, we'll switch that out and use the shaken die, yellow. When unit breaks, we switch that out and use a red die and maintain the step loss. All right, so this is, as said, Vittoria. 1813 was the year the balance of power swung in the Allies' favor in Spain. Wellington's army received substantial reinforcements from England. Napoleon drew large numbers of veteran troops from Spain to rebuild after the disastrous 1812 campaign, and this is again 1813. Wellington's allied army advanced through the mountains into the northeast of Spain, outflanking the French armies of Joseph Bonaparte and forcing them toward the French border. Joseph, encumbered by a massive baggage train, had fallen back to Vittoria to await General Clausel and reinforcements. Joseph unwisely deployed to the west of Vittoria. The defensive terrain was good, but he had only a single route of retreat through the pass, and the massive baggage train was in the way. Army morale was suspect. Wellington determined to strike at 4 vulnerable areas in Joseph's line and destroy the French army before Clausel's arrival took away his numerical superiority. The first attack was conducted by Major General Hill's corps and a Spanish division against the French left flank. Kemp's light division was to cross the Zohora River and extend the British line. 2 divisions, including Picton's, were to engage the French right flank, and 2 more divisions under Graham were to attack across the Zadorra north of Vittoria to block the retreat route. Hill's attack slowly pressed the French back, and Kemp's division crossed the unguarded, intact bridges on the Zadorra to aid the attack. Picton's divisions were late joining the fight, but luck was with the British. Hill's attack attracted virtually all of the French reserves. When Picton's divisions engaged, they made good progress, and the entire French army was pushed back into an ever-shrinking area. Over 70 guns on each side engaged, and the largest artillery duel seen in Spain as the Allied infantry continued to press forward. By 4 p.m., the French were beaten, and Joseph's order to retreat turned into a full-fledged rout as the troops heard the sound of battle near their escape route through the pass. The entire French army was saved from destruction by 2 events. First, terrain and fanatical French resistance prevented Graham from blocking the retreat path, so I should adjust the unit morale probably from a 7 to an 8 for that. Second, the Allied army dissolved into a horde of looters as they came upon the riches of the baggage train. I've read about that too, effectively ending pursuit. As it was, Joseph's army suffered 8,000 casualties and lost all of its artillery and stores in addition to the baggage train. So this is pitting Wellington against Joseph Bonaparte. And both sides apparently move first with this caveat. Move first at the start of the battle. Each player simultaneously selects and reveals 1 command card from their respective hands. The card each player selects will be the card that each player must use on his first turn. I'll have to amend that, obviously. The side that will move first is the side with the card that orders the lowest printed number of units. And I can shadow that easily. Counterattack, blah, blah, blah. Oh, we've got our Spanish guerrilla action rule in effect. It's not in effect. Okay, that's great. I don't have to worry about it. And the river Zadorra is not fordable, so you can't cross it other than the bridge points. And then as far as the rules where we're at, just a breakdown of these. We've got the pregame setup listed, our charts for firing and the combat result modifiers. Then our turn sequence listed, describing the leaders and their role, commander-in-chief and his role, slight breakdown of units, and their morale factor ranging from 6 for militia, 7 for everybody else, and 8 pretty much for elite guard units and things like that. Description and effect of what it means to be in and out of command. You got that. And then description of combat results. So you'll have a morale check. Unit can become shaken, broken, and then describes what it takes to rally. And morale check and rally die roll modifiers. Retreats, leader wounds. Yes, leaders can be wounded. And I want to work in some sort of critical hit, but I haven't figured that out yet. We do have facing in here with a facing example. And then describing wheeling and turning, flank attack, and square. Then we have additional, what I call additional optional odds and sods, things I didn't want to force in here, but I wanted them to be available if so desired. And that's where your commander-in-chief points come in. In fact, I may switch that and force them in. And that's your command cards translated into points that can be siphoned off for various die rolls up to 1 or 2 points worth. Then we have something dealing with leader rating. So this would affect the number of units that can be ordered. And then a couple cavalry things, and then a command example breaking down what it means to be in command and how that works. Nice little example there for everybody. And then things that are in consideration, which are way, way, way on the back burner. And then some what I call IAQ, infrequently asked questions. All of this, again, can be found if you click on the link under one of these previous videos. I think the most latest up-to-date version is there. I'll verify that today or tomorrow. Free for your use, to be used in concert with the base rules for commands and colors. So if nothing else, I think that's it for me. I'm going to worry about what's for dinner. Finished comments, Wardrobe says. Yeah, that's pretty cool that he teaches archery and fencing. Dude, you don't have to buy into the entire reprinting of commands and colors. Just get the base game. See if you like it or not. There's tons of scenarios in there. And there's tons more scenarios on the commandsandcolors.net site that you can play with that base game. You can do a lot with just the base game. And it's not expensive. So there's no reason not to hop into commands and colors. And then once you get familiar with that, you can thicken it up with the shake and break rules. And go from there. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. It's time to eat. Be well. We'll speak again soon.